In the history of human thought, there exist texts whose power lies not only in their content, but in their very destiny. They challenge established perceptions, open doors to other dimensions of reality, and therefore often evoke resistance. One such text is Charles Haanel's The Master Key System. First published in 1912, this work became a cornerstone for an entire generation of thinkers, entrepreneurs, and spiritual seekers. Its influence extends from Napoleon Hill, author of the legendary book Think and Grow Rich, to Earl Nightingale, whose audio programs inspired millions, and even to Oprah Winfrey, who publicly acknowledged its significance to her success. However, this book is remarkable not only for the scale of its influence. In 1933, amidst the Great Depression, when hope seemed a luxury and the economic system crumbled, copies of the Master Key System were withdrawn from circulation. This was not an act of censorship in the conventional sense, but rather an unspoken acknowledgement that the ideas set forth by Haanel possessed such power that they could alter individual and consequently collective consciousness, offering a path to prosperity and self-realization amidst widespread despair. This quiet yet resolute action speaks volumes that the true power of transformation resides not in economic or political systems, but deep within each individual, and that certain knowledge, once attained, can become too influential. Who then was this man, Charles Francis Haanel, whose words continue to resonate with such force decades later? He was born in 1866 in St. Louis, Missouri, during an era of rapid industrial growth and unprecedented opportunities. His childhood and youth coincided with a time when the American dream not only existed, but was actively being realized by thousands of enterprising individuals. Haanel was no armchair thinker or detached philosopher. He was a man of action, an entrepreneur to the core, who himself journeyed from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of the business world. His biography is a classic American success story. He began his career at a young age, working in various positions, gaining experience and understanding the mechanisms of business. His keen intellect, intuition, and extraordinary diligence allowed him to rise quickly through the ranks. He subsequently founded and headed several companies, the most renowned of which was the Continental Commercial Company. This was not merely a firm, but a veritable business empire, engaged in a wide range of activities, from mining to manufacturing and real estate. Haanel became one of the most influential industrialists of his time, a man whose name was associated with success and prosperity. Yet unlike many of his contemporaries, Charles Haanel did not confine himself solely to the material world. He was profoundly convinced that success in business and in life generally was rooted in an understanding of certain universal principles. He studied philosophy, metaphysics, and psychology, seeking to discover the common laws governing both the external world and man's inner realm. His observations and research led him to create a unique system, which he had not initially planned to publish as a book. The Master Key System first saw the light of day in 1912 as a 24-week mail-order course. This format was chosen not by chance. It allowed students to gradually assimilate the material, perform practical exercises, and step-by-step apply the acquired knowledge in their lives. Among his first clients were not merely ordinary individuals, but influential industrialists, bankers, politicians, and entrepreneurs who sought new methods for increasing efficiency, solving complex problems, and achieving higher levels of success. They understood that behind material achievements lay immaterial principles, and Haanel offered them the key to these principles. He was a practitioner who shared not theory but proven methods that had led him to prodigious results. It is this fusion of practical experience and profound philosophical understanding that renders the Master Key System so unique. Haanel did not merely teach how to earn money or achieve goals, he taught how to consciously govern one's life, utilizing the universal laws of mind and the universe. He invited his students to transcend ordinary perception and realize their true nature. The 13th lesson of the Master Key System is dedicated to one of the most profound and, perhaps most paradoxical ideas: the power of those whom society often labels as dreamers. Haanel overturns the conventional understanding of this word. In ordinary consciousness, a dreamer is one who dwells in the clouds, who is unsuited to reality, who flees from harsh actuality into a world of reverie. But for Haanel, dreamers are entirely different beings. He asserts that dreamers are not those who flee from reality, but those who perceive reality before others. They are seers, pioneers of consciousness, capable of perceiving that which remains invisible or unthinkable to the majority. Why then do they perceive reality sooner? Because they have recognized themselves as a part of the whole, identical to the whole. This is not merely a metaphor. It is a fundamental assertion about the nature of being and man's place within it. Haanel writes, most people mistake their personality for the entire world. This is akin to considering a drop as the ocean without the ocean itself. Within these words lies the essence of his teaching in the 13th lesson. He urges us to transcend the confines of the limited ego, beyond the individual drop, and to realize ourselves as the ocean. The principal exercise Haanel offers in this lesson is rooted in the deepest spiritual traditions. He proposes that we recognize and deeply feel the truth expressed by Jesus Christ in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 30. I and my Father are one. For many, this may sound like a religious assertion, but Haanel employs it not as dogma, but as a metaphysical principle, indicating the indissoluble connection of individual consciousness with the universal divine consciousness. This is not an invitation to dissolve into something external, but to realize an inner identity with the source of all being. This idea of the unity and identity of the individual with the universal is not new. It permeates the ancient philosophical and spiritual teachings of many cultures, forming their very core. In the Upanishads, ancient Indian texts constituting the philosophical foundation of Hinduism, the assertion Atman is Brahman holds a central place. Atman is the individual soul, the inner self of every being. Brahman is the absolute supreme reality, the universal cosmic consciousness, the source of all being. The assertion Atman is Brahman signifies that the individual soul is not merely a part of the supreme reality, but is identical to it, that within each of us resides the entire fullness and boundlessness of the universe. This is the deepest insight into non-duality, where the seeming separation between the individual and the cosmos vanishes. Similar ideas are found in Western philosophy as well. The great Neoplatonist Plotinus, who lived in the 3rd century of our era, described the One in his Enneads as the transcendent and incomprehensible source of all multiplicity. The One, for Plotinus, is the absolute first principle, from which all existence emanates, pours forth. All things, from the highest intellectual entities to the material world, are stages of emanation from the One. And though they appear separate, they are indissolubly linked to the One, retaining its imprint within themselves. The purpose of human existence, according to Plotinus, lies in returning to the One, in a mystical union with it, in the realization of one's primordial connection to this universal source. 1,000 years later, in the 13th century, the German mystic Meister Eckhart expressed this same idea within a Christian context with striking clarity. He stated, "The eye with which I see God is the same eye with which God sees me." This is not merely a poetic utterance, but a profound theological and metaphysical assertion about the non-duality of consciousness. It signifies that there is no separation between the observer and the observed, between man and God at the level of the deepest inner experience. When we perceive the divine, we do so not with an external eye, but with an inner eye, which is itself a part of the divine. This eye is something common, something unified, which allows God to know himself through man, and man to know God within himself. The Kabbalistic tradition, a mystical teaching of Jewish origin, also offers its model of this universal interconnectedness. At its core lies the concept of Ein Sof, the boundless light, the incomprehensible and infinite divine essence that precedes all creation. Ein Sof, while absolutely transcendent, nonetheless manifests itself through the 10 Sephirot, 10 divine emanations or attributes that form the tree of life. These Sephirot represent stages of divine manifestation from the abstract to the concrete, from unity to multiplicity. They are the channels through which Ein Sof becomes accessible for understanding and interaction. Each Sephirot contains within itself information about the whole, and all are interconnected, demonstrating how the infinite one manifests in finite diversity, while preserving its integrity. These ancient teachings, separated by thousands of miles and centuries, speak of the same truth, of the fundamental unity of all existence, of how the individual self is indissolubly linked to universal consciousness. Haanel, being a man of his era, managed to translate these eternal truths into a language accessible to modern man, and to present them as a practical instrument for achieving success. But how do these ancient mystical insights relate to modern scientific discoveries? In a remarkable fashion. The science of recent decades is beginning to confirm what mystics and philosophers intuitively knew for millennia. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest minds of the 20th century, in his famous book A Brief History of Time, published in 1988, put forth the idea that every particle of matter is quantumly connected to every other through the primordial singularity. This signifies that at the moment of the Big Bang, when the entire universe was concentrated in a single point, all its components were indissolubly joined. And though the universe expands and particles disperse over vast distances, this primordial connection, this quantum entanglement, persists. In some fundamental sense, we are all part of a single cosmic whole, originating from one point. Our existence is not merely a separate entity, but a manifestation of the singular primordial fabric of being. This idea of profound interconnectedness was also developed by David Bohm, an eminent theoretical physicist from Berkeley, and a student of Albert Einstein himself. In his book Wholeness and the Implicate Order, released in 1980, Bohm introduced the concept of the holographic universe. He posited that the universe functions much like a colossal hologram, where each part contains information about the whole. If a hologram is cut in half, each half will still display the entire image, albeit less brightly. Bohm asserted that there exists an implicate, or unfolded, order, which is the foundation of the explicate, or unfolded, order, that we perceive as our three-dimensional reality. In this implicate order, everything is connected to everything, and each part contains within itself all information about the whole. This signifies that at the deepest level of our existence, we are not merely particles, but holographic projections carrying within us all information about the universe. The experiments of Alain Aspect, conducted in 1982, provided empirical evidence for this astonishing interconnectedness. Working to test Bell's theorem, Aspect and his team demonstrated that two particles separated by kilometers of space remain instantaneously linked. The measurement of one particle's state immediately influences the state of the other, irrespective of the distance between them. This phenomenon, known as quantum entanglement, challenges our classical notions of space and time, suggesting that at a fundamental level there exists a non-local connection, where information is transmitted instantaneously, without traversing space. This is direct scientific confirmation that the seemingly separate elements of the universe are, in truth, part of a single interconnected system. These scientific discoveries do not merely confirm ancient insights, they provide us with a new language for understanding them. They demonstrate that the idea of I and my Father are one, or Atman is Brahman, is not merely a mystical metaphor, but reflects a profound physical reality. We do not simply reside within the universe. We are an integral, indissoluble part of it, containing within ourselves all information about the whole. It is precisely this realization that is the key to the power of those whom Haanel calls dreamers. They do not merely dream of a better future. They perceive it, because their consciousness has expanded beyond the narrow confines of the ego. They have realized their identity with the whole, and this identity grants them access to the boundless potential of the universe. They do not await reality's alteration to conform to their dreams. They understand that their dreams are already a part of reality, manifested on a deeper level. The practice of the 13th lesson, as proposed by Haanel, calls us to daily contemplation of this fact. He invites us to ponder, every atom of your body was forged in a star. Indeed, the elements that compose your body, carbon, oxygen, iron, were formed in the furnaces of ancient stars that exploded billions of years ago, scattering their particles across the cosmos. Your water is older than the sun. It existed in the protoplanetary disk from which our solar system formed. Your nitrogen came from supernovae, the same cosmic furnaces as other elements. You are not merely a part of the universe. You are the universe, conscious of itself. This is not a poetic metaphor, but a scientific and spiritual fact. Every breath, every heartbeat, every thought, these are manifestations of a cosmic process. When you realize this, your perception of yourself and the world transforms forever. You cease to be a small drop, separated from the ocean, and begin to feel yourself as the ocean itself, conscious of its boundlessness. This realization bestows unprecedented power, clarity, and creative capacity, which have been accessible to great dreamers and seers throughout human history. It opens the door to true mastery over one's life. This realization bestows unprecedented power, clarity, and creative capacity, which have been accessible to great dreamers and seers throughout human history. It opens the door to true mastery over one's life. It is in this context, in light of understanding our identity with the whole, that modern science begins to reveal mechanisms which Haanel and other thinkers of the past intuitively sensed. Today we possess the tools and knowledge enabling us to peer into the most recondite mysteries of being, confirming that the boundaries between you and the universe, between thought and matter, are far more permeable than we are accustomed to believe. Let us first consider the latest discoveries in the field of neuroplasticity, a phenomenon that overturns our understanding of the brain. For a long time it was believed that the adult brain was a static structure, fully formed in childhood and only slowly degrading with age. However, thanks to pioneering works such as Norman Doidge's book The Brain That Changes Itself 2007, we now know this is not the case. The brain is remarkably flexible and capable of constant change, of creating new neural connections, and even of forming new neurons throughout life. This means that our thoughts, our experiences, our actions literally restructure the physical architecture of our brain. One of the most striking and frequently cited pieces of evidence for neuroplasticity is the research by Eleanor Maguire and her colleagues, published in 2000. They studied London taxi drivers, individuals who undergo one of the most complex and prolonged training programs in the world, known as the knowledge. To obtain a license, a taxi driver must, over approximately 4 years, memorize a detailed map of London, including 25,000 streets, thousands of landmarks, and optimal routes between them, without the use of a navigation device. This is a colossal cognitive load. Maguire and her team discovered that experienced London taxi drivers exhibit a significant increase in the volume of gray matter in the posterior hippocampus, a brain region critically important for spatial navigation and memory formation. Furthermore, the longer an individual had worked as a taxi driver, the greater this volume. This is not merely a metaphor, it is a physical alteration of the brain, induced by intense mental activity. Your brain, in a literal sense, grows and changes in response to what you think about, what you study, and what you experience. If the brain can physically adapt to memorizing a city map, imagine how it can be shaped by your deepest beliefs and dreams. The dreamers Haanel speaks of may not merely envision the future, but actively forge the neural pathways that render that future more accessible to their perception and realization. Next, let us turn to epigenetics, a relatively new field of science that demonstrates our genes are not our ultimate destiny. Traditional genetics taught us that DNA is an immutable code that determines all our traits. Epigenetics, however, has revealed that environmental factors, lifestyle, and even our thoughts and emotions can switch certain genes on or off without altering the DNA sequence itself. It is as if you possess a set of musical notes, DNA, but epigenetics decides which melody from those notes is played. Dr. Bruce Lipton, in his book The Biology of Belief, convincingly demonstrates how the cellular environment, shaped by our beliefs and perceptions, directly influences gene expression. One of the most astonishing studies in this field was conducted in 2014 by Dias and Ressler, which showed that traumatic experiences can be inherited through epigenetic changes. In the experiment, mice were subjected to electric shocks in the presence of cherry blossom scent, acetophenone, creating a persistent fear of this odor in them. What was striking was that the offspring of these mice, first generation, never having been subjected to shocks, displayed heightened anxiety and avoidance of the cherry blossom scent, and even their grandchildren, second generation, exhibited the same reaction. Further research indicated that these changes were caused by epigenetic modifications in the sperm of the males who had undergone trauma, altering the expression of the gene responsible for the olfactory receptor. This discovery has profound implications. It suggests that not only our personal experiences but also the experiences of our ancestors can influence us at a genetic level. We are not merely separate individuals. We are part of a much larger inherited system, where the past echoes in the present. Dreamers, realizing their connection to the whole, may intuitively grasp this profound continuity and the capacity to influence it. Psychoneuroimmunology (PNI) is another field that confirms the deep connection between mind and body. This discipline studies the interaction between the psyche, the nervous system, and the immune system. Candace Pert, a distinguished neuroscientist and author of the book Molecules of Emotion, 1997, demonstrated that emotions are not merely abstract feelings but biochemical signals that circulate throughout the body. neuropeptides, which she termed molecules of emotion, and their receptors are found not only in the brain but also in immune cells, in the digestive tract, in every organ. This signifies that our emotions literally permeate every cell of our body, constantly exchanging information. The classic studies by Janice Glaser and Ronald Keikolt Glaser on medical students vividly illustrate this. They found that during periods of intense stress such as examinations, students exhibited a significant decrease in immune cell activity, slower wound healing, and increased susceptibility to infections. As soon as the stress subsided, immune function recovered. This direct and measurable effect demonstrates that your mental state not only affects your well-being but also your physical capacity to resist illness and recover. If stress can weaken immunity, it is logical to assume that positive emotions, confidence, and a clear vision of the future, characteristic of dreamers, can conversely strengthen it, creating a more favorable internal environment for health and prosperity. And finally, the placebo phenomenon, one of the most compelling proofs of the mind's power over the body. The placebo effect is an improvement in a patient's condition caused by their belief in the efficacy of a treatment, rather than by the medicinal properties of the drug or procedure itself. Henry K. Beecher, in his groundbreaking 1955 review, The Powerful Placebo, showed that on average, 30 to 60% of patients experience significant relief from various symptoms by taking an inert substance that they believe to be medicine. This effect is observed in a wide range of conditions, from pain and depression to Parkinson's disease and even some types of cancer. The mechanisms of placebo are complex and involve the release of endorphins, dopamine, changes in brain activity, and even modulation of the immune system. Essentially, your brain, convinced it is receiving aid, activates the body's internal pharmacies, producing its own potent medications. This is not mere self-deception. These are real physiological changes initiated by the power of belief and expectation. If belief in a dummy pill can heal, what then is the power of targeted conscious belief in one's own ability to create a desired reality? The dreamers Haanel speaks of do not merely hope, they believe in their vision. And this belief, as the placebo effect demonstrates, is the most potent instrument for manifesting their reality. They understand that their inner world is not merely a reflection of the outer, but its active creator. These scientific discoveries, from neuroplasticity shaping our brain, to epigenetics rewriting our genetic destiny, from psychoneuroimmunology linking our emotions to our health, to the placebo demonstrating the power of belief, all point to one and the same fundamental truth. We are not passive observers of reality, but its active participants and creators. Our consciousness, our thoughts, our beliefs possess a real, measurable power, capable of shaping both our inner world and our outer reality. This is profound scientific confirmation of what Haanel termed the identity with the whole, and what the seers of antiquity expressed in their own language. For this idea is not new. It permeates the wisdom of millennia, finding its reflection in ancient texts and teachings that, though employing different terminology, point to the same fundamental connection between human consciousness and universal being. These parallels are not mere coincidences. They are echoes of a singular truth that reverberates through ages and cultures. Consider, for instance, the Hermetic tradition, tracing its origins to the legendary figure of Hermes Trismegistus. His teachings, set forth in texts known as the Corpus Hermeticum, and especially in the Poemandres, are a cornerstone of Western esoteric thought. The central principle of Hermeticism, as above so below, as within so without, perfectly expresses the idea of the identity of part and whole. In the Poemandres, the divine mind, or nous, reveals itself to Hermes, demonstrating that man is a microcosm, a reflection of the macrocosm, and that within him lies a spark of the divine mind, capable of co-creation. Man, according to Hermes, is not merely created by God, but is a co-creator, endowed with the ability to shape his reality through thought and will, for he bears within him the image and likeness of the One. This is direct confirmation of Haanel's concept of dreamers who perceive reality before others, because their consciousness has expanded beyond the ego, realizing their divine nature. Buddha Shakyamuni, who lived in the 6th century BCE, also emphasized the fundamental role of the mind in shaping reality. In the first verse of the Dhammapada, one of the most renowned texts of the Buddhist canon, it states, "Mind precedes all mental states, mind is their chief. They are all mind-wrought." These words are one of the clearest and most concise expressions of Buddhist philosophy on the nature of reality. Buddha taught that our world, our experiences, our suffering, and our liberation all are products of our own mind. If the mind is pure, happiness follows it like a shadow. If the mind is defiled, suffering follows it like the wheel of the cart follows the ox. This teaching is not merely an exhortation to positive thinking. It is a profound metaphysical assertion that reality, as we perceive it, is not absolutely objective and independent of consciousness, but is shaped and colored by our thoughts and intentions. A dreamer, in the Buddhist understanding, is one who realizes this truth and consciously uses their mind to create what is desired, rather than being a passive victim of circumstances. The Indian philosophical tradition, particularly Vedanta, offers an even deeper immersion into this idea. The Yoga Vasistha, one of the most extensive and profound texts of Vedanta, presents a dialogue between the sage Vasistha and Prince Rama. In this text, it is asserted that the entire world is nothing but a manifestation of consciousness or Brahman. All phenomena, all objects, all beings, these are mental projections akin to dreams. There is no objective reality existing independently of the mind. Vasistha employs numerous analogies to illustrate this viewpoint. For instance, comparing the world to a dream world, which appears absolutely real while we sleep, but vanishes as soon as we awaken. He asserts that similarly, our waking world is a grand dream, manifested from the one consciousness. The realization of this is the key to liberation. For Haanel, this is equivalent to understanding that I and my Father are one, that individual consciousness is identical to the universal, and that this identity grants the ability to shape the dream of reality. In the mystical tradition of Judaism, the Kabbalah, there is also a profound understanding of the unity of all existence. A central concept here is Ein Sof, which means boundless light or without end. This is the absolute, incomprehensible essence of God prior to all creation. From Ein Sof emanate the 10 Sephirot, 10 divine attributes or spheres, through which the boundless light manifests and creates the universe. Each Sephira is an aspect of the One, and the entire cosmos, including man, is their reflection. Man, or Adam Kadmon, is regarded as a microcosm containing within himself all 10 Sephirot, and through him one can comprehend and influence the divine worlds. The goal of Kabbalistic practice is to realize this inner connection with Ein Sof, to restore harmony between the Sephirot within oneself, and thereby influence the harmony of all creation. This deeply resonates with Haanel's idea that by realizing oneself as a part of the whole, identical to the whole, man gains access to boundless potential. The Stoics, such as Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius, who lived in ancient Greece and Rome, also taught of the profound interconnectedness of all existence and man's role in this cosmos. They believed that the universe is governed by a rational principle, or logos, which permeates all things. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote in his Meditations, "The universe is one living being, possessing one substance and one soul." The Stoics urged living in harmony with nature, understanding that we are a part of this great cosmic order. They taught that we cannot control external events, but we can control our thoughts, judgments, and reactions to these events. It is through inner discipline and the acceptance of one's role in the grand cosmic design that man achieves serenity and wisdom. This philosophy emphasizes that true power and freedom lie in the realization of one's connection to the whole and in aligning one's will with the universal will, which is the essence of Haanel's teaching for dreamers. Finally, Zen Buddhism, brought to China by Bodhidharma in the 5th century of our era, offers its unique path to the realization of unity. Zen emphasizes direct, intuitive apprehension of truth rather than its intellectual comprehension. A central concept of Zen is Buddha nature, which is inherent in every being and is identical to absolute reality. The aim of Zen practice, especially Zazen meditation, is to see one's own nature, that is, to realize this inner Buddha nature, which is the One. Bodhidharma taught that enlightenment is not something to be acquired from without. It already resides within us. This is a profound understanding that the individual self is not separate from the universal, but is its integral part, conscious of itself. A dreamer in Zen is one who, through direct experience, realizes their identity with the whole and acts from this state of profound wisdom and clarity. All these ancient teachings, from Hermeticism to Zen, from Vedanta to Kabbalah, despite their cultural and historical differences, converge on one point. A deep understanding of the nature of reality demands the realization of the indissoluble connection between individual consciousness and universal being. They all indicate that man is not an isolated entity, but a part of the whole that contains within itself all information about the whole. This is precisely the truth that Charles Haanel sought to convey in the 13th lesson of the Master Key system, offering modern man a path to unlock his boundless potential. It is precisely this profound understanding, this capacity to perceive reality before others, by realizing one's identity with the whole, that distinguishes those whom Haanel calls dreamers. Their stories are not merely biographies of successful individuals. They are living testaments to how the principles set forth in the Master Key system can be applied to achieve outstanding results in the most diverse fields. These individuals did not merely believe in their dreams. They knew that their dreams were already a part of reality, awaiting their manifestation. One of the most striking examples of such a dreamer who not only realized this truth but also helped millions of others to comprehend it is Earl Nightingale. In 1956, Nightingale, then a little-known radio announcer, recorded a short speech titled "The Strangest Secret." This recording, initially intended for a small group of his employees, became a sensation. It became the first audio course in history to sell over 1 million copies, and effectively spawned an entire industry of motivational and self-development audio programs. What then was the strangest secret? Nightingale directly stated, "We become what we think about." He asserted that success or failure in life is not the result of luck or chance, but a direct consequence of our dominant thoughts. If an individual consistently thinks about a goal, about what they wish to achieve, their mind begins to work towards the realization of that goal, attracting the necessary resources and opportunities. Nightingale, as a young man, was inspired by Napoleon Hill's book Think and Grow Rich, and realized that the principles of success are universal. He intuitively understood that thoughts are not merely ephemeral phenomena, but powerful creative forces capable of shaping our reality. His strangest secret is a direct application of Haanel's idea that consciousness is the cause, and the material world is the effect. Nightingale was a dreamer who not only perceived this truth but also found a way to convey it to a wide audience, transforming the lives of countless individuals. Napoleon Hill, mentioned by Nightingale, is himself one of the greatest dreamers and systematizers of success principles. His story began with a fateful meeting with one of the wealthiest men of his time, Andrew Carnegie, in 1908. Carnegie, being a discerning individual, recognized potential in the young Hill and offered him an unusual task: to spend 20 years researching the lives of America's most successful people to identify the universal principles that led them to success. Carnegie believed that these principles could be systematized and imparted to others. Hill accepted this challenge and over 2 decades interviewed such titans as Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, John the 500th, Rockefeller, Alexander Graham Bell, and even Nikola Tesla. The result of this colossal endeavor was his monumental book Think and Grow Rich, published in 1937. In it, Hill presented 13 principles of success, including concepts such as desire, faith, autosuggestion, specialized knowledge, imagination, and the power of the master mind. Many of these principles directly echo Haanel's teaching. Hill, like Haanel, emphasized that all achievements begin with an idea, with a thought, with a clear vision of what one desires. He taught that the subconscious mind, being a connecting link to the universal mind, is capable of transforming these thoughts into reality. Napoleon Hill was a dreamer who not only dreamed but also methodically investigated how other dreamers manifested their visions and then imparted this knowledge to the world. Let us now transport ourselves to a more modern era and turn to Steve Jobs, one of the most influential visionaries of our time. While Jobs was not a direct follower of Haanel in the sense that Nightingale or Hill were, his approach to life and innovation deeply resonates with the idea of a dreamer who realizes his identity with the whole and is capable of perceiving connections invisible to others. In his famous commencement address at Stanford University in 2005, Jobs spoke of connecting the dots backward. He He spoke of how, after dropping out of college, he serendipitously attended calligraphy courses which at the time seemed utterly useless to him. However, 10 years later, when he was designing the first Macintosh, it was precisely this knowledge of typography, of the beauty of fonts, that enabled him to create a computer with magnificent graphics that changed the world. Jobs explained, "You can't connect the dots looking forward, you can only connect them looking backward. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your character, destiny, life, karma, whatever." This faith in an unseen order, in the notion that seemingly disparate events will ultimately coalesce into a meaningful picture, is the quintessence of a dreamer's mindset. Jobs intuitively understood that his individual path was part of a larger, unseen design, and that by trusting this process, he could create the future. His ability to connect the dots is a form of seeing the whole, where every fragment of experience, every seemingly random detail has its place in the grand design. And of course, it is impossible to speak of the influence of the Master Key system and similar teachings without mentioning Oprah Winfrey, one of the most influential women in the world, a media mogul and cultural icon. Oprah openly acknowledges that her success is not solely the result of hard work, but also a consequence of the conscious application of principles set forth in books akin to the Master Key system. She has repeatedly spoken of the power of thought, the law of attraction, and the importance of conscious intention. In 2006, Oprah dedicated an entire show to the book The Secret, which is in essence a modern retelling of ideas first systematized by Haanel. She not only recounted how these principles transformed her own life, but also inspired millions of her viewers to explore these concepts. Oprah Winfrey is living proof that a dreamer who realizes their identity with the whole can achieve incredible heights. Her story is that of an individual who, despite all difficulties and obstacles, utilized the power of her consciousness, her faith in boundless potential, and her vision of a better future to create an empire and become a voice for millions. She demonstrates that the principles set forth by Haanel over a century ago are not outdated esoteric teachings, but powerful, practically applicable instruments for shaping one's reality. These stories, from Earl Nightingale to Oprah Winfrey, are potent testimonies that Charles Haanel's ideas concerning the power of consciousness, concerning the identity of the individual with the whole, are not mere philosophical abstractions. They are practical principles that, when applied with faith and persistence, are capable of transforming life. They demonstrate that true dreamers are not those who flee from reality, but those who perceive it more deeply, sooner than others, and possess the power to shape it in accordance with their highest vision. They do not merely dream of the future, they realize themselves as a part of the universe, conscious of itself, and through this realization attain mastery over their lives. These stories, from Earl Nightingale to Oprah Winfrey, are potent testimonies that Charles Haanel's ideas concerning the power of consciousness, concerning the identity of the individual with the whole, are not mere philosophical abstractions. They are practical principles that, when applied with faith and persistence, are capable of transforming life. They demonstrate that true dreamers are not those who flee from reality, but those who perceive it more deeply, sooner than others, and possess the power to shape it in accordance with their highest vision. They do not merely dream of the future. They realize themselves as a part of the universe, conscious of itself, and through this realization attain mastery over their lives. This principle, underlying Haanel's 13th lesson, permeates not only success stories but is also concealed within the very fabric of modern culture, psychology, and even science, often unconsciously. It manifests in those moments when an individual transcends the ordinary perception of self as a separate, limited entity and connects with something greater. In the depths of Carl Gustav Jung's analytical psychology, we find the concept of individuation, the process of becoming a whole, integrated personality that recognizes and assimilates the unconscious aspects of itself. Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, a repository of archetypes and universal symbols common to all humanity, connecting each individual to the general flow of life. This is nothing less than psychological confirmation of Haanel's idea that I and my Father are one, that our individual psyche is identical to the whole, merely manifesting in a unique form. Individuation is a path to the realization of this primordial wholeness, to the unlocking of inner potential, which is in essence the potential of all being. Abraham Maslow, one of the fathers of humanistic psychology, described peak experiences, moments of profound joy, ecstasy, awe, and unity, when an individual feels completely integrated with the world, losing the sensation of separateness. In such moments, anxiety, fear, and egoistic desires vanish, giving way to a feeling of boundless love, harmony, and belonging. These are moments when an individual intuitively realizes their identity with the whole, experiencing a surge of energy and meaning that transforms their perception of reality. Maslow considered these experiences key to self-actualization, the highest stage of personal development when an individual realizes their full potential. Even in cognitive psychology, seemingly distant from metaphysics, we discern echoes of this principle. Daniel Kahneman, a Nobel laureate, in his work Thinking Fast and Slow, describes two systems of thinking. System 1 is a fast, intuitive, emotional system that operates with holistic images and instantaneous judgments. System 2 is slow, logical, analytical, requiring effort. Haanel's true dreamer learns not merely to rely on intuition, but develops it, purifies it from conditionings, allowing it to draw information from depths inaccessible to ordinary logic. This is akin to how System 2, through training, increasingly trusts and guides the intuitive insights of System 1, enabling an individual to perceive solutions and opportunities that remain invisible to the majority. Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, in his concept of flow, describes a state where an individual is completely absorbed in an activity, losing the sense of time, self-consciousness, and separateness from the task. In this state of optimal experience, the individual and their action become one, and outstanding results are achieved. Athletes call this the zone, artists the muse, programmers the state of deep concentration. This is nothing less than a practical manifestation of the principle of identity with the whole, where the ego dissolves and the individual becomes a pure conduit for creative or performative energy. In the world of sports, where the line between victory and defeat is often determined not only by physical prowess but also by mental disposition, this principle manifests with particular vividness. Michael Jordan, the basketball legend, often spoke of the zone he entered during crucial games. This was a state where he felt one with the ball, the hoop, the game, where every movement was intuitive and flawless. He did not merely play basketball. He was basketball. His belief in his abilities, his mental preparation, and his capacity to visualize success were indissolubly linked to his outstanding achievements. Similarly, Kobe Bryant, another great basketball player, developed his Mamba mentality, a philosophy of relentless dedication, continuous self-improvement, and absolute confidence in one's abilities. Bryant taught that one should not merely desire to win, but that one will win, even before the game begins. This knowledge stems not from arrogance, but from a profound realization of one's potential, one's connection to the game, and one's ability to shape the desired outcome. He saw himself as part of the whole, part of the history of basketball, and acted from this state of identity. In the realm of business, where innovation and foresight define success, the principle of the dreamer, who realizes himself as part of the whole, also finds its application. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, is known for his day one mentality. He constantly reminds his employees that every day should be like the very first day of the company's existence, a day when one must be flexible, innovative, ready for experimentation, and unafraid of failures. This is an approach that allows him to foresee the future of retail and technology long before competitors, to constantly rethink business models, and to act from a position of boundless possibilities rather than limited resources. He does not merely manage a company, he shapes the future. Elon Musk, the man who dares to dream of colonizing Mars and creating a global satellite internet network, is a vivid example of a dreamer in action. His capacity to perceive the world not as it is but as it could be stems from a profound conviction in the boundless potential of the human mind and technology. He does not merely create companies, he creates the future, realizing himself as part of a global process of evolution. His vision is so vast that it transcends personal ambitions, becoming a part of the collective striving for progress. Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors of all time, demonstrates this principle through his ability to perceive the fundamental value of companies, disregarding short-term market fluctuations. He does not merely purchase stocks. He acquires a part of a business, a part of the economy, and his decisions are based on a profound understanding of how these parts interact within the framework of the whole. His capacity to perceive reality before others lies in his patience, his commitment to a long-term vision, and his ability to discern the true nature of things, rather than their superficial manifestations. However, like any potent principle, the idea of the individual's identity with the whole can be distorted and misunderstood, leading to dangers that distance one from true mastery. One such danger is naive positivism, the conviction that it is sufficient merely to wish for something for it to materialize, without any effort, action, or understanding of the underlying laws. This transforms a profound teaching into a superficial formula, where personal responsibility is replaced by passive expectation of a miracle. Closely related to this is so-called magical thinking, the belief that thoughts alone, without any causal mechanism, can directly influence external reality. Haanel never advocated for the denial of the physical world, or for inaction. On the contrary, he emphasized that consciousness is the asterisk cause asterisk, and the physical world is the asterisk effect asterisk, and that for the manifestation of the desired, not only thought but also concerted action based upon that thought is necessary. The absence of this understanding can lead to disappointment and a sense of powerlessness when expectations are unmet. Another danger is the denial of reality. This occurs when an individual, attempting to apply the principle, ignores or actively denies existing problems, difficulties, or negative circumstances, believing that negative thoughts will attract negativity. Such a stance can lead to avoidance of responsibility, an inability to adequately respond to challenges, and even self-destructive behavior. True realization of one's identity with the whole signifies the acceptance of all reality, including its shadow aspects, and working with it from a position of strength and wisdom rather than flight. Finally, there is the risk of toxic spirituality, when profound spiritual concepts are employed to justify selfishness, avoid emotional pain, condemn others, or create a false sense of superiority. The idea of I and my Father are one, as interpreted by Haanel, is a call to humility before the grandeur of the universe and to the realization of one's role as its part, rather than to the inflation of one's own ego. It is about unity, not domination. When the principle transforms into a tool for avoiding personal responsibility or for creating an illusory world, it loses its transformative power and becomes an impediment on the path to true mastery. Understanding these dangers is critically important for applying Haanel's teaching with wisdom and efficacy. Now that we have realized the depth and potential of the 13th lesson, as well as its possible pitfalls, it is time to proceed to practical application. For knowledge without action is mere information, and true understanding is attained through experience. The following techniques, designed for a 30-day practice, will assist you in beginning to realize your identity with the whole, and to unlock the potential of the dreamer capable of shaping their reality. Practice of realizing identity with the whole. 30 days of transformation. These exercises are designed not merely to alter your thoughts, but to reconfigure your inner state, enabling you to more deeply sense your connection with the universe. Select 1 or 2 exercises per day and perform them sequentially. Asterisk 1. Daily silent contemplation, asterisk. What to do? Find a quiet place where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, take several deep breaths to relax. Then, for the entire duration of the practice, focus on one of the phrases, I and my Father are one, or I am the universe, conscious of itself. Do not analyze it, simply allow it to resonate in your consciousness like a mantra. If thoughts distract you, gently return to the phrase. The goal is not to clear the mind of thoughts, but to observe them from the outside, without engagement, and to return to your mantra. Imagine that you are the boundless space in which all thoughts arise and vanish. Asterisk. How many minutes per day? 10 to 15 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? The first 3 to 5 days, you will feel more calm and mental clarity. By the 7th to 10th day, profound insights or a sense of inner connection that was previously unavailable may emerge. By the end of the 30-day cycle, you will notice a sustained feeling of inner peace and awareness that will accompany you throughout the day. Asterisk, asterisk 2. Focused visualization of the desired future. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Choose one specific goal or desired state that you wish to manifest in your life. This could be anything, from improved health to professional success or harmonious relationships. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and deeply relax. Then begin to visualize your goal as if it has already been achieved. Use all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel, touch, even taste in this desired future? Feel the emotions you would experience if your goal were already realized. Imagine yourself not merely an observer, but an active participant in this reality, realizing that you, as a part of the whole, possess the power to shape this reality. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 5 to 10 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? By the 5th to 7th day, you will notice an increase in motivation and clarity regarding the steps necessary to achieve your goal. By the 14th to 21st day, opportunities and synchronicities that will further your goal will begin to appear. By the 30th day, you will observe tangible shifts and perhaps a partial or complete realization of your goal. Asterisk, asterisk 3. Powerful I am affirmations. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Create 3 to 5 powerful affirmations beginning with I am that reflect your realization of identity with the whole and desired qualities. For example, I am boundless potential manifesting in my life. I am the source of abundance and joy. I am wholeness, harmony, and love. I am the universe, conscious of itself and creating its reality. Repeat these affirmations aloud or silently with deep conviction and feeling. Feel each word permeate every cell of your being. You may repeat them before a mirror, looking into your own eyes to amplify the effect. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 5 minutes several times a day, morning, afternoon, evening. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? As early as the 3rd to 7th day, you will notice a change in your inner dialogue and self-perception. By the 10th to 14th day, self-confidence and belief in your abilities will increase. By the 21st day, you will find that old limiting beliefs are weakening, giving way to new, expanding possibilities. Asterisk, asterisk 4. Journaling awareness and synchronicity. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Daily set aside time to record your thoughts, feelings, insights, and any coincidences or synchronicities you noticed during the day. Ask yourself, in what moments did I feel myself a part of something greater? What thoughts or actions led to unexpected results? How do today's events reflect my inner state? Reflect on how the principle of I and my Father are one manifests in your daily life. Write freely, without censorship. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. How many minutes per day? 10 to 15 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? By the 7th to 10th day, you will begin to notice recurring patterns and connections that previously went unobserved. By the 14th to 21st day, you will gain a deeper understanding of yourself and the world, and learn to recognize the signs and opportunities the universe sends you. Asterisk, asterisk 5. Practice of gratitude for existence. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Every day, in the morning or evening, compile a list of 5 to 10 things for which you are genuinely grateful. These can be major events or the simplest things. Fresh air, a cup of coffee, a stranger's smile, but go beyond the mundane. Express gratitude for the very fact of your existence, for being a part of this incredible universe, for every atom of your body having been forged in the stars. Feel profound appreciation for this indissoluble connection. Imagine this gratitude extending outward from you, connecting you with all that exists. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 5 minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? By the 3rd to 5th day, you will notice a significant improvement in your mood and overall emotional state. By the 7th to 10th day, your perception of the world will become more positive. You will begin to observe more good around you. By the 21st day, gratitude will become a natural part of your worldview, attracting even more positive events and opportunities into your life. Asterisk, asterisk 6. Mental rehearsal for mastery. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Before any important event, be it a meeting, a presentation, an exam, or a challenging interaction, dedicate time to mental rehearsal. Close your eyes and in the minutest detail imagine everything unfolding perfectly. See yourself confident, competent, calm. Feel how you easily and effectively handle all tasks, how your words resonate, how you achieve the desired outcome. Imagine that you already possess all necessary qualities and resources because you are a part of the whole, and all that you need is already within you. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? 5 to 10 minutes, immediately before the event. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? The effect is felt immediately. Anxiety diminishes, confidence increases. After 1 to 3 days of practice, you will notice an improvement in your performance and ability to cope with stressful situations. By the 7th day, you will discover that your capacity for mental rehearsal becomes more potent and the results more predictable. Asterisk, asterisk 7. Shifting focus. From ego to awareness. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. What to do? Throughout the day, when you feel stress, anxiety, anger, or any other negative state, consciously pause. Observe your thoughts and emotions, but do not identify with them. Remind yourself, I am not my thoughts. I am the awareness that observes them. Then consciously shift your focus to something that evokes a sense of connection, peace, or gratitude within you. This could be your breath, the sensation of your body, the beauty of nature outside your window, a memory of a loved one, or simply inner silence. This is an instantaneous return to your true self, to the realization of your identity with the whole. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. How many minutes per day? As needed, from a few seconds to several minutes. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. By what day to begin feeling the effect? As early as the 1st to 3rd day, you will feel relief and be able to exit negative states more quickly. By the 7th to 10th day, you will gain greater control over your emotional reactions. By the 21st day, this process will become natural to you, and you will spend most of your time in a state of inner peace and awareness. Charles Haanel's 13th lesson unveils for us one of the deepest truths of the cosmos. The true dreamer is not one who flees from reality, but one who realizes themselves as reality itself, capable of boundless creation. You are not merely a part of the universe. You are the universe, conscious of itself. Every atom of your body was once forged in the heart of a distant star. Every molecule of water within you is older than the sun, and the nitrogen forming the basis of your DNA came from supernova explosions. You are the cosmos, embodied in form, and in this realization lies boundless power. This is not merely a philosophical concept. It is a practical key to mastery over one's own life. It is the understanding that you are not separate from the source of all being, but identical to it. And when you begin to live from this realization, your life transforms. Your vision becomes clearer, your actions more purposeful, and your possibilities more boundless. In the next lesson, we shall delve into how this realization becomes the key to unlocking doors that seemed barred, how it enables us to surmount obstacles that once appeared insurmountable, and how it guides us toward true prosperity in all aspects of our lives. For when the drop realizes itself as the ocean, it gains all its might. Imagine not merely a dewdrop sparkling on the morning grass, but a drop that realizes that within its tiny sphere is reflected all the grandeur of the rising sun, the boundless sky, and the infinite depth of the ocean from which it once ascended. This drop is not separate from the whole. It is the whole, manifesting in a unique form. And in this realization lies not only its beauty, but also its boundless potential.